Hello everyone and welcome to my GH Soap Opera Today channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Spoilers for General Hospital. Ethan works for mob boss enemies and betrays Sonny. According to previews for General Hospital, Ethan Lovett may have come back to work as a mole for Sonny Corinthos. Is the son of Luke Spencer secretly employed by the WSB? Let's discuss it. In the Friday, April 17 episode, Ethan makes a spectacular comeback to Port Charles. Ethan swiftly reconnected with his sister, Lulu Spencer, and then hurried out to meet Sonny after leaving a mysterious voicemail to an unidentified person about arriving in town and being at the pier every day around noon, hoping to see them soon. Christina Corinthos Davis opened the door when they arrived at Sonny's house, and it appears that they will reconnect before he speaks with the mob boss. Since Luke and Sonny were best friends, he would do anything for the man's kids, including protecting them and doing favors. All signs point to the possibility that Sonny will accept Ethan's employment offer without hesitation because of his many qualities, including his ability to scam others. Sonny has to surround himself with trustworthy individuals, and Ethan is a perfect fit in every way. Or so Sonny believes. Actor Nathan Dean clarified in a recent interview that Ethan's assertion to Lulu that he was back in town to catch up with old family and friends was untrue. Even if Ethan was somewhat of a hero when fans last saw him in 2023, a lot can change quickly. What drew Ethan back to PC when he was obviously lying to Lulu when they met at the docks? Ethan is renowned for his daring ways, and as a con artist, he frequently offended some quiet, influential people. It's also plausible that he became involved in illicit operations and may be under someone's control. Fans remember that Jason Morgan was employed by the federal government when he reappeared in 2024. The group was using Curly Spencer's admission that he was in charge of Sonny's criminal enterprise as leverage to persuade Jason to comply with their demands. Jack Brennan said that given his skill set as a henchman, he wouldn't be shocked if the WSB compelled Jason to become an agent after he was recently taken away for shooting Ross Cullum. Was this hinting to a future plot point? Is it possible that the WSB has information on Ethan and has urged him to turn into a mole in order to permanently bury Sonny instead of locking him up in Stanmore? Perhaps it's the FBI, not the WSB, that wants to put the mob boss behind bars at least. Furthermore, they may be threatening to imprison not just Ethan but also his mother Holly Sutton. In 2024, Holly was hanging around with Jane Sidwell and stealing James, but she has now settled down with her own scams. The last thing Ethan would want is for his elderly mother to be incarcerated because the WSB might have information that would send her away. It appears that he may be in over his head with this con job when you consider that Christina and Ethan seem to have a romantic spark, which might complicate things for the man if he's trying to bring Sonny down. According to General Hospital spoilers, Ethan would never want to betray Sonny, but only time will tell because he might be in a difficult situation. General Hospital spoilers. Keisha stole PCPD evidence in Marco's phone mystery? The mystery surrounding Marco Rios' missing phone must be solved. It must be somewhere, according to General Hospital spoilers and updates. The forensics team would have obtained it from the crime scene at Miller and Davis when Marco was fatally stabbed, but it appears to be missing as of right now. Sidwell's PCPD plant is Keisha's Faison, also known as Nathan West. Fans of GH are now aware that Keisha's Faison, who poses as his last twin Nathan West, is Jane Sidwell's plant in the Port Charles Police Department. Keisha is tasked with solving Marco's murder after being promoted back to detective, but he treads carefully. Ross Cullum, Sidwell's partner who appears to be his supervisor, would have taken Marco's phone from the crime scene. However, Marco was still barely alive when Cullum quickly left after stabbing him. Cullum picked up Marco's phone, read a text, and then placed it back down. That's how he knew to go to Pier 55 and confront Britt Westbourne, leaving the phone in plain sight on Marco's desk at the crime scene. That phone should belong to the PCPD forensic team. Since it is unlikely that Marco's phone was in the ambulance, the PCPD forensics team should have that phone. When patrolman Harrison Chase questioned Alexis after the medics brought Marco to GH, he didn't seem to notice it, or at least he didn't take it. Why can't anybody locate it if it didn't accompany the patient to the hospital and most likely left Alexis and Diane Miller's office with the forensics team? The only plausible explanation is that Keisha stole it from the evidence lockup, probably on someone's orders. Colum did not instruct him to accept it, and when he and Keisha spoke in his hospital bed at GH, the topic of Marco's phone was not even brought up. That leaves Sidwell was Keisha stealing PCPD evidence to give to a grieving father or to conceal something. Like Valentine Cassadine, Keisha appears to be a mixed character with both good and negative traits. Other than the fact that he is Lulu Spencer's kid, it doesn't appear that he is acting as Rocco Falconeri's stand-in. Therefore, even though he reports to Sidwell and Colum, it does make some sense that he may steal PCPD evidence in order to give his father Marco's phone. There are two possible explanations though. Cassius may have given Sidwell Marco's phone because he doesn't have many of Marco's belongings to remember him by. Additionally, the PCPD cannot take the chance of using the phone's potential wealth of evidence to bring Sidwell and Colum to justice. Fan theory of General Hospital. Jacinda is actually Nell. Could it be that Nell survived and came back to get her kid back? Jacinda from General Hospital isn't a wallflower. She is defying Willow and demanding to be involved in Wiley's life. Some admirers think she's attached to Michael's son for a purpose. Important lessons. Neil was a malevolent character who ultimately died after falling off a cliff. Michael is currently dating Jacinda, a former escort. Jacinda's past is shaky. Jacinda might be Neil in a different guise, attempting to get Wiley back. What was Neil's story? Michael's ex-girlfriend and Wiley's biological mother is Neil. She had a grudge against Curly when she arrived in Port Charles and she would not let it go. Neil took Curly's son away in an attempt to undermine her. Neil attempted to murder Michael. When that failed, she gave Michael the impression that their son Jonah had passed away during childbirth, even though he was still alive and living with Brad and Lucas. Neil eventually fell down a cliff, and her body was reportedly discovered. Willow became Michael's adoptive mother after he was reunited with Jonah, also known as Wiley. Jacinda, who is she? Before she met Michael, Jacinda worked as an escort at the Metro Court Bar. The two finally fell in love when she served as his alibi on the night Drew was shot. Neither Michael nor we know much about Jacinda's life before to Port Charles. When she was still in high school, she told him she became involved with an older man. After the romance ended, she became an escort to make ends meet after her parents cut her off. Although the tale appears plausible, it could be a complete fabrication. Neil is Jacinda. It has long been believed that Neil is still alive and would ultimately return to Port Charles to exact revenge on those who mistreated her. It makes sense that if she had survived, she would have required facial repair because she did fall from a cliff. Jacinda might be a different version of Neil. Although Neil may still be unaware that Willow was her sister and that Nina was her mother, she is well aware that Willow adopted Wiley. Getting connected with Michael would be the best method for her to achieve her aim of getting him back. It may have been intentional for Jacinda and Michael's son to grow close. She is definitely Neil-like in that she is not scared by Willow and is not given up on Wiley. Is it feasible that Neil has returned with a different identity? Isaiah gets confronted by Curtis. In the Port Charles, tensions are rising. Suspicions are growing, and one bold move has the potential to completely alter the situation. According to the leaks, Curtis confronts Isaiah despite Jordan's recuperation from the vehicle accident. Why is Curtis suddenly at odds with Jordan's former partner? Isaiah and Curtis became tense. Colum might not be much more cooperative when Dante presses for answers. Sonny considers a risky action that might upend everything as pressure mounts, but not everyone might agree. Isaiah and Curtis fight. By no means are Curtis and Isaiah friends. Although there have been conflicts in the past, the Jordan, Portia, Curtis, and Isaiah quadrangle has recently been quiet. But since the accident, Dr. Gannon has expressed his concern for Jordan. She is currently in shock about her facial injuries and the possibility of having plastic surgery to remove any scars. What does it mean for Curtis to confront Isaiah? It can indicate that he dislikes Isaiah going to Jordan to interacting with him. Isaiah is currently seeing Curtis's ex after all. Or perhaps Curtis learns that Isaiah was on Route 91 the night of the collision and seeks clarifications from the reputable physician. Dante desires to talk to Colum again. The Commissioner of Police in Port Charles chooses to speak with the director of the WSB once more. Yes, Dante visits Colum once more because the previous visit was so successful. Perhaps he believes he has given Colum enough time and space to recall anything else about what transpired on the docks. We have a sneaking suspicion that Colum will respond in the same intimidating and patronizing manner that he did during their previous conversation. Dante's questions clearly didn't sit well with him. Will this conversation be more fruitful than their previous one? A well-considered risk. Since Sonny's only option these days is to take a chance, it makes sense. Sidwell used damaging proof of Dalton's murder to his advantage. Jason, his right-hand man, is incarcerated in a WSB Supermax facility and off the radar. Thus, he may attempt a power move against Sidwell and take a chance. Alternatively, it can be related to Ethan's desire to work for Sonny. Is Rick skeptical because of the risk he is about to take? Because he is making a lot of effort to mend his relationship with his brother. However, if he believes that Sonny's actions aren't the best idea, he won't hold back. Thrown for a loop by Britt. Britt is taken by surprise, according to the teasers. She has been experiencing this reaction frequently lately, and with good reason. Her life is perilous and unpredictable, and it frequently seems like things may be worse. However, it appears that Rocco admits to shooting Jason in GH's weekly video preview. Does he tell Britt the truth if this actually occurs? At the very least, she is one of the individuals he would confide in. Laura and Ezra are fast rising to the top of GH's most entertaining duos. The ABC soap opera was made enjoyable to watch by the unusual pair of Ezra and Laura. With Laura and Ezra's newfound connection, General Hospital has struck gold, thanks to the chemistry between the two soap opera's veterans. We are having a great time watching Ezra and Laura, which was definitely not on our 2026 bingo card. Laura noticed Ezra's vulnerability. In every scene, the actors are on fire. It's time for Laura and Ezra to collaborate. Laura and Ezra are GH's newest entertaining duo. The popular ABC soap opera has a talent for providing viewers with unexpected but captivating pairings, such as Alexis and Rick. That list now includes Laura and Ezra. When Ezra's relationship with Sidwell reached a breaking point, he turned to the pub to drown his sorrows. Laura took the high route, as she usually does, even though she had the ideal chance to expose Ezra or use blackmail. Fans of GH discovered that Ezra has a softer and more vulnerable side as a result of this incident. Nobody should be surprised that even after he sobered up, Laura was still able to bring that out in him. Cosgrove and Francis had incredible chemistry. No, even if the character is booked and occupied with Beyond the Gates, Laura belongs with Kevin, so we aren't having romantic conversations. But Francis and Cosgrove's chemistry might easily make Laura and Ezra Port Charles' new best friends. Many GH fans thought that they are entertaining to see. They will be an entertaining team to watch, I can tell. I was undecided about Ezra, but I immediately liked this aspect of him, and any plot involving Laura is, of course, soap opera gold. Take it away, Danielle and Jeannie, a fan on X stated. I'm officially shipping Laura and Ezra. I am powerless to stop it. Today solidified the soft spot I've been developing for them lately. Who knew? Fans were talking about a thread on Reddit called Ezra plus Laura. I don't hate it. Fans generally agreed that they are only interested in Laura and Ezra forming a friendship or alliance. A fan insisted, I'm here for whatever else might happen. but and not romantic. There should be lots more entertaining moments between Ezra and Laura now that they have decided to cooperate in order to escape Sidwell's control. AI scams involving GHS Steve Burton have gotten out of hand, according to Michelle Lundstrom. According to Michelle Lundstrom, the scam issue involving Steve Burton from General Hospital has turned from a little annoyance into something far more sinister. Both scammers posing as Steve Burton from General Hospital and alerts about fans being drawn into fictitious romantic relationships, private communications, and financial schemes using his name are not new. The amount of synthetic fakery that has infiltrated it, from AI-generated videos to fake news items disguised as authentic, feels more recent and unsettling. This prompted Michelle Lundstrom, his wife, to come out once more, this time on social media, stating that the issue has only gotten worse. AI scams that use Steve Burton's name have become more dangerous. Michelle Lundstrom said, according to reports, a woman lost $40,000 because she thought she was seeing Steve Burton. This went beyond a standard celebrity imitation fraud thanks to fake videos and fake news. The warning was viewed by fans as a genuine safety concern rather than rumors. Scams have evolved into something different. Lately, there's been a surge of fake accounts, messages, and even AI-generated videos pretending to be my husband and even pretending to be us, Michelle Lundstrom posted on Instagram. She then made it clear that Burton is not secretly texting admirers or requesting money. In the video she included, she claimed that a woman who has supposedly given $40,000 to a fraudster approached Burton while he was on tour, thinking they had been dating for 2 years. Using images she has shared, she also displayed examples of AI-generated content, claiming that its scope had gotten out of hand. The fact that the post did not read like abstract internet fear made it hit like a little harder. It included details such as Lundstrom's statement that Burton doesn't use Zangi or WhatsApp and that family members frequently get in touch with her in an attempt to assist loved ones who have fallen victim to these scams. Another noteworthy conversation occurred when Lundstrom said, "Absolutely not," in response to a fan's question about whether the post itself was artificial intelligence. AI emailed me the video I shared in the background, which pretty well captures the current state of affairs. Why this was more serious than a normal celebrity scam alert. Fans reacted to the tweet with a mixture of tired recognition and worry. Romance scams are a newer form of elder abuse. According to one follower, there has to be some law in place, and they get multiple fake burden requests a day and block them. According to another, the admirer who joked that they would ask Burton for money instead of sending him any was an example of the gallows humor in the comments. Beneath the frustration and emoticons, there was one thing in common. Individuals trusted the warning. The woman who allegedly approached Burton with the belief that his actual marriage was fraudulent is the information that viewers could find unsettling, rather than the phony reports themselves. Things turns from an annoyance to something more depressing. Yes, Lundstrom was discussing con artists, but she was also discussing a society in which fake intimacy might appear genuine enough to cost someone their money. She had the courage to speak honestly about a more serious topic that soap opera rumors often touch on. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe my channel without missing any update.